Hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. Today, I'm going to do another quick short story review for you. This one is The First Night of Lent, published in Playboy in March 1956. The narrator is a screenwriter staying in Dublin while he works in a project. And he really proposes the question to us at the beginning of the story, do you want to know what makes the Irish tick? We learned that in the evenings, he is driven out to the countryside to work with his producer. His driver is a heavy smoking, wheezing, coughing cab driver named Nick. Most mellow guy in the world you could ever think of. Apparently the safest driver as well, driving very slow and being very, very cautious. In the evenings, Nick would hang out at the local pub and then wait for his fare to finish up working, and then Nick would drive our narrator back to the city. One night, the narrator mentions that it's the night before Lent, or 2 nights before Lent, rather, and he asks Nick what's he going to give up, and Nick thinks, well, maybe I'll give up smoking. You know, it's making me cough, it's no good for me, I'll save some money, and who knows what I'll do afterwards. Maybe I'll never smoke again. The next night, Nick comes to pick up the narrator, and instead of the mellow, slow-driving, safety freak Nick, we get a fast-driving, dangerous, loud-mouthed lunatic smoking a cigarette. The narrator asks him, he says, what happened? You're smoking. And he says, well, I gave up the other evil instead. I gave up drinking. He only appeared mellow, apparently, because he had to be careful to stay on the road, and the alcohol sort of knocked the vigor and the over-the-top truthful Nick out of him, making him a more reasonable and more easy-to-handle person. The narrator then hands Nick a wad of cash and says, before you pick me up tomorrow night, buy the best bottle of whiskey that you can and drink it up before we go for our ride. So, obviously, the story is a comedy. Not a whole lot to sink your teeth into here, but it does have that nice little classic twist ending, so I enjoyed it for what it's worth, and it does make you really think about the idea of, well, not really just the stereotype of alcohol in the Irish people, but in people in general. Some of us, I think, are a little bit more easy to handle when we've had a few, you know? And in this case, the alcohol, rather than being something to make Nick crazy and fight, it actually mellowed him out and made him a more reasonable person who was basically the only Irish person that our narrator really ever got to know and to enjoy his company, and he enjoyed it so much that he needed him to start drinking again so that they could continue on with their nightly relationship while the project lasted. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on The First Night of Lent. It's only about 4 pages long, quick, easy little read, but worth your time, you know, a little bit of entertainment. You won't be thinking about it when you go to bed at night, but you will enjoy it, so I highly recommend it. Thanks for tuning in. Please return soon for the next review here in the Ray Bradbury series. Please subscribe as well, and I'll see you again soon.